And so I want to ask you, because Susie said that you and Pastor Marcus covered it up. Did you cover it up?
You know, Marcus isn't here, but I will just say, absolutely a lie. I never covered up anything. I wouldn't cover up anything. Marcus didn't cover up anything. And so again, this is a narrative that was written by some low-level blogger who knows nothing, never heard the other side of the story, and is doing nothing but trying to destroy my family.
Sensationalize.
Yeah, well, that's what she does.
Yes,
yeah.
And I'm glad you shared this, because
it's no surprise to many that Joni Lamb and her inner circle at Daystar Television Network appear to be working overtime to suppress YouTubers and journalists exposing deep-rooted corruption within the ministry. This week, content creator and whistleblower Joshua Simone came forward with disturbing allegations. According to Simone, Lamb and her executives are allegedly employing tactics ranging from intimidation and financial coercion to spiritual manipulation in an effort to silence their critics. But this story began long before the headlines, years before the scandals erupted. Simone received prophetic drawing, a figure blowing a trumpet amid flames. At the time, it made little sense. But when whispers of corruption at Daystar surfaced in 2023, its meaning became clear. This wasn't just a vision, Simone explains. It was a warning, a call to expose what was festering behind the polished facade of megachurch ministry. The parallels to biblical times are striking. Like prophets who warned of judgment in the Old Testament, Simone has emerged as a modern-day truth-teller. But unlike ancient messengers, today's whistleblowers face a far more organized opponent, a well-funded, highly connected machine operating more like a spiritual syndicate than a ministry. What makes these revelations particularly chilling is their timing. Simone's drawing lay untouched for years, until now, as former Daystar employees stepped forward with allegations of financial misconduct, emotional abuse, and systemic deception. The trumpet is sounding again and louder than ever. According to sources, Daystar's leadership didn't just commit individual wrongdoings. They allegedly built an entire ecosystem to conceal them, using tactics that rival the most calculated cover-ups in corporate America: weaponized NDAs, inflated salaries, luxury travel. When employees raised concerns, they were met not with transparency, but spiritual gaslighting. Pray about your heart posture, one was told. Questioning leadership invites demonic attack, another was warned. This isn't just hypocrisy. It's institutionalized deception, and the most dangerous weapon in their arsenal, not money, not power, spiritual manipulation. Simone's latest exposé draws from teachings by the late Derek Prince on spiritual control, specifically how witchcraft in the church isn't about potions and spells, but about control, especially when masked in religious language. In these environments, obedience to pastors is equated with obedience to God. Honest questions about spending or conduct are cast as rebellion. Sermons about submission become thinly veiled threats. Staff wonder who's next to be called out from the pulpit. For those who dare to blow the whistle, the retaliation is brutal. Not just public shaming, but spiritual vilification. You're not just wrong, Simone says. You're labeled a Judas, a tool of Satan. This isn't mere workplace politics. It's spiritual warfare weaponized, and the psychological toll is staggering. Victims begin to doubt their own convictions, questioning if the moral compass is really just a spirit of rebellion. These ministries prey on sincere believers, those willing to give generously and serve wholeheartedly. That deep hunger for God becomes the very leverage used against them. Giving equals godliness. Questioning equals rebellion. The spiritual abuse spills over into donor relations, where giving is subtly framed as a condition of divine favor. As Simone puts it, when your message implies that donation protects you spiritually, you're no longer running a ministry. You're running a spiritual protection racket. Perhaps the most tragic consequence is how this abuse distorts the Christian community. Instead of fellowship, people find themselves in transactional relationships governed by fear. Instead of mutual accountability, leaders demand blind loyalty. Instead of love, control. And the damage extends far beyond Daystar. Every time a leader uses God's name to silence critics, it reinforces skepticism toward organized religion. It fuels cynicism. It makes evangelism harder. The pattern, Simone warns, is disturbingly consistent. Charismatic leaders with unchecked authority. No external accountability. A theology that links success with divine approval. But Simone isn't calling for believers to abandon church. He's calling them back to biblical principles. Jesus never manipulated people into following him. Simone says he welcomed questions. He washed feet. He led by example. This scandal marks a turning point, a crossroads. The question isn't whether spiritual abuse exists. It's whether we'll confront it or enable it through silence. In recent weeks, the retaliation against Simone has intensified. A coordinated harassment campaign, allegedly backed by Daystar affiliates, has emerged, dragging up old photos, distorting his past, and threatening to drop his file. These aren't just internet trolls. These are strategically timed, well-funded attacks. Normal people don't dig through your life from 10 years ago. Simone says, someone's paying for this. But here's the twist. Simone's strategy is disarming their attacks. He's embraced radical transparency. I've already told my story, he says. The divorce, the years I walked away from God, the failures. There's no gotcha moment left. By publicly owning his flaws, Simone has removed their power. You can't weaponize what's already been surrendered. This new era, fueled by whistleblowers, truth-tellers, and a generation unwilling to tolerate hypocrisy, has changed the game. The darkness that once protected toxic leadership is fading, and light is taking its place. Simone's story is a reminder. The best defense against exposure is honesty. It's time to support ministries committed to transparency, integrity, and servant leadership, to ask hard questions, to value truth over tribalism, because the whistle has been blown, and now the decision lies with us. Will we stand with the truth or pretend not to hear? This verdict won't be rendered in courtrooms, but in the hearts of believers. The question is not if change is coming, but what side of history will be on when it does.